Drag Race.
Hey, kitty girls. It's
Hi.
Sunday, July 26, 2020. And welcome to Cubs Out Loud Drag Race Tea Time All Stars Season 5, episode number 8, aka the finale or clapback. We've reached the end.
You don't have an applause like a thank God, do you?
No, unfortunately not. I don't.
Woo! No, she better don't.
Mhm.
No, but we have reached the end. So we're going to talk about the finale of the most recent season. It has just wrapped. It isn't quite 48 hours yet. In the midst of this recording is when it will have been announced who the winner is, and we will discuss that shortly. That being said, for those of you that may not know, my name is Gary, and with me is my co-star hostess over here.
Hello, everyone. It's Damon. Welcome.
So, you ready
Are you loving the eyes? I'm loving the eyes. I don't know about you, but I'm loving the eyes.
We got a little dolled up for tonight, so...
A little. It's the finale. We wanted to get a little special.
Yeah. It's celebratory, darling. So, for those of you at home that are watching, you could, put a mug on too. A little bit of one. A little something here and there. Full face. Don't matter. You don't have to, but we'd appreciate it. Send us a picture. We'll talk about that at the end of the show.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into what happened in this episode.
Gentlemen, start your engines, and may the best woman win.
All right, so no mini. We jump straight into the reason for the whole episode is clapback music video performance. So the three queens, Cracker, Jujubee, and Shay, are to write their own lyrics for their own verse and get choreography for Mr. Todrick Hall. And they will have backup dancers, and all of the previous queens in this season will be joining them in the video. Which I thought was interesting.
Yep. We'll talk about that later.
And so, that's really the main event. Get it together, girl. Know how to do your moves. Todrick's going to help highlight you. I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. And, put on a show, basically. So, Damon, what did you think about this music video performance of Rue's new song, so to speak?
Yeah. So, as I put down, some good moves, but one outshined. And it's very interesting how this kind of goes into play. So I'm talking about Shay as the outshine. In my opinion, she definitely outshined. And I think the main reason she outshined was because she was given this extremely difficult choreography to do by Todrick because she is an experienced dancer. She's, we know that she is, I don't know if she's trained or classically trained or any of that shit, but we know she has dance experience. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Todrick choreographed them in season 9. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that's correct.
I think you are right.
Yeah. So if he did, then he knows she can do shit. So he challenges her, and he tells her he's challenging her to do this really intricate, maneuvers. And then on top of that, which we didn't see in the rehearsal, obviously, bitch gets flipped around, on top of people's heads and then on top of people's shoulders and then flipped upside down while performing, lip syncing to this song. And I'm just like, okay, don't get me wrong. I loved what they did with Miss Cracker. I loved her choreo. I loved what her verse said. Her kind of she was blending her comedy and her fashion kind of together, which works really well. I'm in agreement with Michelle in regards to Juju. She was very much like deer in headlights a little bit, not to the extent that where she wasn't doing anything at all, but you could clearly tell where she's thinking about what's happening next because sometimes her lips don't always move to the lip sync as well as they should,
Mm-hmm.
and um, and the moves are not crisp. Like
Right.
I think there was a lot more. There was a lot more like uh, uh, like false like light hands to kind of do things. The clap back apparently was always a very like short, quick here, like very close to the chest kind of moment. So um, yeah, I mean I think that's pretty much it. Like they I really appreciated Shay and the work that she did, and it was very much her show. Although I'm not a big fan of the green hair because it looked a little stringy, but that's just me. Um, the outfit looked nice. I would have liked a black hair, like a darker hair on her, or a some kind of black and white hair that kind of went with the outfit a little more, because it kind of just like it's a weird color combination, kind of went like Beetlejuice, and I was kind of like, I don't know. So,
Mm.
Gary.
I'm looking for the match to what I'm saying, but
Mm-hmm.
um, so I said unfair comparison,
Mm-hmm.
aka I agree with the Vixen.
Uh-oh.
So I'm looking for the Vixen thread because I did not. And here it is from 2 days ago. Vixen says Todrick has a bad habit of giving girls who can dance tougher choreo, which is really unfair in a competition.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I was like tickled beyond belief to see Shay's performance because I
Mm-hmm.
was not ready for the you're going to sit on his shoulders, you're going to basically kind of do a somersault, like tumble
Or
from
cartwheel kind of thing. Yeah,
right
cartwheel.
like a cartwheel on top of them and end up two men over like in the upright position again. Girl, I don't think I've ever seen that move in my life. Certainly
I,
not on Drag Race. So I was not ready for where she was like, this man is between my thighs. Boop, I'm upside down. Boop, this other man is now between my thighs. I was like, wait a minute. Even my bestie who was up for the weekend, we're watching it, illegally, and she was like, whoa. And I was like, right. What the hell was that?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was. I loved it. Like watching it. Like it's great. Like oh my gosh, that's so like out there and so different. But I think I understand what Vixen is saying,
Mm-hmm.
and that is the one of the issues I could see where. So I'm just going to throw it in comparison because I think it bears comparison, comparing, blah blah. Jamal Sims, who has choreographed stuff, just like this past season, this season 12, the finale.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like he plays to the girls' strings without like, oh, you know how to dance, like here you can do all this stuff. We
Right.
know Todrick is notorious for this because remember, I think it was either season 9 or season 10 where Raja O'Hara was all like, I've been doing this and I'm blah, 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 dancing. And he starts giving her shit and she's like, I'm not doing it right. He gives her like that, like, I forget the comment, but it was kind of like like, you told me you can dance. Like, why aren't you getting this? Like, I was like, bitch, like, don't you know we're in a
He
competition?
he clapped back at her because she didn't pop off, but she said, that she's done some dance and this, that, and the other thing, and he's like, oh, okay, and then he gave her some stuff, and then like was kind of surprised that she was struggling a little, and she pushed back a little bit, and then come to find out like, well, what she said was accurate, but like a little out of context, like time.
I went to a class. Whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry. Just it's just, and that's sort of the thing. Like, I get what the vixen is saying there. Like, just because a girl can dance or knows, has some training, doesn't mean you should give them harder stuff.
Right.
You really should give everyone kind of a similar thing. Maybe give a little more intricate things to slightly more intricate things to the person who can actually, clap a 1 and 2, or whatever, 2 and 4.
Right.
But play with their strengths, play to their strengths, and focus on showcasing those. Is Shay a good dancer? Absolutely. Is Juju a good dancer? No. Like, she made that very clear.
Well,
And I will admit that Juju even did okay, but I think she got a lot of easier things to do. She had a lot of, and I'm just going to put it like this, and I'm going to call, maybe this will be shady. She had a lot of distractions around her. Like, all the men, she kind of had all the men's is all up on her. I mean, I'm assuming it was all men. It's been a minute. I watched the video again recently, but I can't remember fully. But I'm pretty sure it's all like men, because I know she does the clap back on their butts.
mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and that again, that kind of plays into Juju's kind of character in a ways, but still,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really do. I think it was an unfair comparison to put the three of them in the same music video, but then to give them totally different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
While I get that it matches their skills, it is not fair in terms of the competition if the judges do not take into account the skill level of each queen.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you do that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because if Juju could have pulled off what Cracker did, would that equal what Shay did? Like, I don't understand how you can get like equalitative,
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say this much. Cracker didn't get a lift.
True.
Juju got a lift. Shay definitely got a lift. She got a couple of lifts, actually. So it's like good little things. Like, I'm just like, if you're gonna make it, it's a competition.
Right.
Make it even. I and no, like, also to gotta add it. No offense, like, they're all pretty small. Miss Cracker's not necessarily her padding is large, but like,
Right.
she's not a like big girl by any means. So why didn't she get a lift? To kind of just give everyone a lift, it would have made sense.
Right.
Because at least then they're all kind of released in that way even.
True.
Anyway, this is me.
Yeah. All right, you ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay.
Cover girl, put the bass in your walk. Cover girl.
All right, honey, stomp the runway. Final looks.
Mm-hmm.
What the girls present. So, in actuality, they wear 3 outfits apiece in the finale. So they wear one outfit for the musical number, one outfit for the runway for presentation, basically, and then one number for the lip sync.
Yes, the runway category was All-Star Eleganza.
Was it? Ugh.
Yes, I'll get it.
I couldn't even remember it to write it in the damn document. I was like, was there a category? I don't even think there was. I thought maybe I was wishing and hoping they finally gave up on that, but apparently not. So, yeah. I I will say this. I was I was not displeased
Okay.
or upset because sometimes I feel like we get to All Star, Eleganza or the final thing, and sometimes I feel like the queens pull out whatever the fuck is left in their like suitcase, and you're like, really, girl?
I mean, truth. Truth, truth, truth.
So that being said, Mr. Damon, what did you think of the
Um,
looks?
so someone during the runway or after the runway called this the quote best runway ever. I think it was Carson, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it was Carson.
Okay.
Um, and I put, best runway ever, and I went, I don't know, but I will admit, like you, that there wasn't like I have to like this is literally all I have left. Everything looked to me all-star eleganza, as it were, for the most part. There are a couple that I'm kind of like, meh. Um, um, but there were some definite like standouts. Um, all the queens did walk the runway. All the All Stars 5, season 5, queens ran to walk the runway. Um, let's see who was bad. I was not a big fan of Mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
Hers in particular stood out for me. While I liked the color, it just didn't. It was a pantsuit, and it just didn't like work for me. I was also, unfortunately, not the biggest fan of Derek Barry's. While the dress was nice, it was very, hate to say it, basic in comparison to everything else that was going on the runway.
Okay.
Um, if I had seen that in the season 12 Frozen Eleganza, I would have been, eh. It's a light blue dress with the platinum blonde hair. It kind of looks like Elsa. She kind of had this weird like fake. I don't even think it was metal. Like I can't even like it just didn't look like real crown on her head.
Mm-hmm.
I was not a big fan of that either. That's like wearing a wedding dress at a wedding. Or
Okay.
wearing white at a wedding. To me, like throwing the crown on your head is kind of like saying a big fuck you to what's going on around you. But that's just me. Some standouts for me. Um, I fucking love Mariah's dress. The petal, the blue pet, like just she usually cannot do any wrong when it comes to a runway, like point blank period. And because she knows how to dress herself, she knows how to wear a garment, and she's just so great. And this outfit in particular with the hair kind of on the side, just oh, so fucking beautiful. Um, and then there was Alexis. I love that dress, although she didn't call it a pageant dress, but bitch, that's a pageant dress. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, that is totally a pageant dress. Don't Let's not play that card right now. It's a good dress, like, but call it what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, GGB's was just a highlight for me. I was fucking floored by that. It's so good. It's so elegant. I just the orange gold kind of like fabric that was just like draped on her and that kind of fell and like cascaded behind her. Oh, just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then actually my final one is for Shay. Um, I really did like her the big pink. It looked a little oversized to me. She had no like um there was no figure, but I was okay with that. It went with what she was going for, and I really fucking loved that. So kudos to her as well. Gary.
Um, I was just going back and looking at a picture of Shay. So I said there were some killer presentations.
Mm-hmm.
The only one, honestly, that stood out to me out of the queens that were eliminated was Alexis.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was bold. I thought it was beautiful. I also was surprised she was able to wear it because it has been talked about many times, and Shay even mentions it in the What You Packin', I think. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
Shay or it's Cracker. One of them mentions about their outfits because
Oh,
all of their outfits are outfits that were never seen.
mm-hmm.
And there was discussion about bringing backups. And part of the thing, I'm pretty sure it was Shay, what talked about the moire
Yeah.
effect, which is
Mm-hmm.
so, the pattern doesn't look good on recorded video or film. Like it causes this effect that, that screws up and it kind of looks like all squiggly and shit. And I thought I clocked that a little bit on Lexus's gown, and I was surprised that she got away with wearing that because that was my first thought was, wow, that's bold. And I think I'm kind of seeing a little bit of the effect that they were talking about. So I was surprised that
Mm-hmm.
she was able to wear it. I mean, she could have put her foot down and been like, this is all I brought, and like, that's the end of it. So, I don't know, but hers was the one that really stood out to me. I was not that impressed with, Paris, Balenciaga, Miss Mariah.
Oh.
It was okay, but um there was something about it I couldn't put my finger on. And then when Shay comes out in her third look, I was like, that looks an awful lot like Mariah's.
Mm.
That's awkward. Like, I felt like, that Shay's final lip sync outfit looked a lot like Mariah's runway outfit. And I was like, was there a blue pedal memo? Like, whoops. So yeah, hands down, Jujubee's is astounding. Like, if it was
Uh-huh.
based off of runway only for that outfit, I think it was all hers to win.
Yeah.
Um, I'm still mixed about Shay's runway look. Like, it's beautifully executed. I had to go back and look at a picture of it because you were talking about it. And she talks about like how it's inspired by a picture of her mother, wearing her prom dress, and they showed the Polaroid of it, and I can see the echo of like where it comes from and what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with you, like it's almost like it's too big, like it's swallowing her. It's kind of odd.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure why. Like it just
It's like it's
I mean, I get that it's a choice, you know. Yeah, fine.
That was a choice.
But I mean,
but yeah, no, I get what you mean. Like I loved it.
like the weirdest thing is she doesn't have a waist.
Yeah.
Like it's like a bell.
Mm-hmm.
Like it angles, and then when it comes to the torso, it just kind of goes up. Like even I can't get my hands to do it right. Do you know what I mean? Like it just it kind of goes straight up and down. It doesn't flex at all. Like at least
Yeah.
in the picture that's being shown, I mean, she has these pink gloves on that are not exactly a perfect match. And I'm just like, okay. And these like big puffy, I don't know. It's okay. I'm just, not a super fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Cracker. I kept hoping for a reveal. I thought there was going to be a reveal. Well, because it's so big.
Yeah.
And then there wasn't a reveal. So I was like, okay. You're kind of looking like you're mixing different things together. Like all the pearl drop like stuff made me think of like Memoirs of a Geisha. Like kabuki kind of like it had to me it had a flavor of that, but then like she's talking about her Jewish heritage, which is also Russian, and da 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 da. And in the end I was like, that's nice, but I'm still not necessarily a fan of your outfit, girl. Like,
yeah, it was. What do what do I say? Like it's very. Excuse me. Ooh, that was a yawn. Pardon me. It is. It's busy. Like there's a lot of like things going on. Like a lot of things.
mm-hmm.
She's got this blonde hair casting all the way down to her butt. You know, you've got this big like headdress with all these like little like I'm looking just at the headdress right now and like looking at this is very intricately designed, and then you've got these little white pearls like here and there like throughout it, and then it has like pearls that are literally right at the eyes on the headdress, mind you, and then it goes into the choker and then down into the dress, and then you've got this bell. It's very big, like almost like we were talking about, almost like a bell with Shay, but it's not quite that. Woo, but it's you know long and flat, and I get it if it was a representation of a um like historical or cultural like garment. I can understand that, but I don't know if it is. She's been talking
Right.
about she was doing like this Jewish Russian heritage kind of thing going, and I don't know it, and that could be just me because I don't know that heritage. So
I just realized what my one thing is that I'm not a fan of, and it's these 3 pearl straps that like come off of the wide band choker necklace. Like there's one that comes here to like kind of mid boob, there's another one over here, and then there's one that goes all the way down almost to her belly button. This shaped divot thing for the cleavage, I'm not understanding why. It's a choice. I don't know if I agree with it. The pearly nipples, like kind of like tata tassel-y things, I'm not sure about that. Like, so I think if we took those 3 things off, this would open up and look prettier with some nice contouring, and I don't think we need areolas on the dress. I don't think the dress needs nipples. I'm just saying. I mean, it's beautiful. It's well done. I'm
yeah,
still not sure 100% about it. I
yeah.
feel like there could be a couple of edits.
Mm.
You know? So there's that. I mean, it's like in comparison, I mean, I just look at Jujubee and she looks like a goddess. Like literally walking, breathing Buddha, representation. And it's amazing. I mean, when she turned the corner, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. It is practically breathtaking.
I mean, it's the best she's ever looked, I think.
Yeah. It is so like well done, and maybe that's what it is, and I'm just gonna kind of like to throw that part into it, like maybe because I understand the reference to her culture more than the one for Miss Cracker, maybe that's it. But I still love what she did, and it is beaded, and I'm assuming like stoned. It's so well made. I was a big. I love the orange, like the big, like not full on cape,
right? The drape,
but like the draping fabric that just kind of kept going, and she kind of was able to walk with it, and it's just so like it was a very beautiful choice. I don't, it worked so well with what she had on. And I love that she like even shows you that she's not wearing a wig. She just has this headdress on, and it's just yeah. And she's so painted, so fucking good.
I know. Like
Oh,
that face was
ah,
amazing. I'm zooming in actually on a picture that I have. Like her eyes are astounding.
yes.
Like I'm just like that is like a smoky eye, bitch. Like I mean, she
Yes.
just really delivered on that with some nice neutrals. It's really really fucking astounding. And I just it's why it's a struggle bus for a little bit for me because I'm like if it was runway only, I'd be like give it the fucking crown to Juju. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know, if it's based on the music video portion, then I would probably say Shay, even though it's
Mm-hmm.
unfair, like setup and comparison.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There we are.
So there's that. So I mean, I did think there were some killer presentations, which I mean you would expect because that's the final look.
Yeah. And I will say I was unsure about having all the queens kind of walk the runway, but I understood it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they're there.
I mean,
We're using them.
and some of them were keeping the brand, so to speak. Like India
Mhm.
Farah was wearing that like minty blue, like kind of icy bluish color with her big jiggly breastplate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean she was definitely on brand. Derek reminded me of Derek in her season when she goes off Britney. And I was kind of surprised that some of the other queens were like, I really feel like I'm seeing Derek instead of Britney. And I was like, is that a good thing, though? Like, I'm not trying to be a shady asshole. I'm like, she does Britney amazing, but, like, she doesn't do anything else to the same level, which is disturbing to me. I'm like, why are we not putting all that energy and effort into, like, you instead of just the celebrity
Brittany, yeah,
imitation?
impersonation. Like, and that's I will admit, like we talked about this when she left, like the very first episode. Like, I wanted to see Derek,
Right.
and she literally walked in as Brittany,
Right.
and then did a fake person impersonations of other people that were not that good.
Right.
So.
All right. You ready to move on to the lip sync?
Sure.
Okay.
3 top all-stars stand before me. Ladies, this is your last chance to impress me, win $100,000, plus a crown and scepter from Fierce Drag Jewels, and earn your place in the Drag Race All-Stars Hall of Fame. The time has come. Ready to lip sync for the crown. Good luck, and don't fuck it up.
Yes. Big
Yeah.
dramatic timpani drumming.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yes. Before we get to discussing the actual lip sync,
Ooh, okay.
I would just like to remind everybody, because we didn't really talk about it at the end of last episode of COLDR, about how the last episode ended. So in this final episode called Clapback for the finale, that was not resolved. The infamous phone call at the end of episode 7, where Rue does this whole dramatic acting up thing, grabbing the landline phone, setting it back down, and then changing her personality, snapping back in an instant to it being the end of the show, and Juju, Cracker, and Shay are all shook. And they're like, what the fuck was that? And then nothing. Like, this episode comes and I realize that's never resolved. Like,
No. Well,
the queens talk about it at the very beginning of the episode when they're on the couch together. But then it doesn't turn
That's
into
it.
anything.
That's it.
Like I didn't see any big surprise that showed up. They'd be like, "Oh, that's what the phone call was about."
Like everyone like is making, and I think the phone call was literally meant to be like we're bringing back the other girls, because that is a different thing that has not happened.
Right.
Where they bring back, well, let me rephrase. Where they bring them back for the sake of like having the conversations and whatever, kind of like a reunion, but not really a reunion.
Right.
Instead, it's sort of a if that's what the call. Well, let me put it again. If that was what the call was for, it was a lot of build up for a shitty like release. Like it's like edging for hours, and then just like you get to that point, and you finally let it go, and then just like it's that. It is that kind of thing, that
Okay.
kind of feeling.
Yeah. So I just was confused. Like we got to the, at the end of the whole thing, and then like the phone call was never referenced or said or really explained, and I was like, that's weird.
Did I see something? I feel like I saw something. I'll have to check my.
I looked online even today again to see if there was any posts about it, like any interpretations, and there was only like 2 articles that referenced it, and they kind of glossed right over it, and I was like, okay. I thought it was pretty fucking dramatic, so I thought something important was going to happen.
Yeah, I remember mentioning something, but it's going to be bad because I have to go through my Tumblr, my Twitter, which everyone knows my Twitter is definitely not safe for work. So I'm trying to like,
okay.
where can I start to find it? We'll see.
So the 3 queens are lip syncing for the crown. Now, I was really annoyed by this. Rue makes the announcement that all 3 of them will be lip syncing for the crown.
Mm-hmm.
To which I thought, well, of course they are.
Of course they are.
Why are we acting like only 2 of them would lip sync for the crown? Like, was that ever a presumption for anybody? Because it sure as hell wasn't for me.
I mean, no, like, like everyone kind of had that whole thought, and I'm like sitting here like, no, like they don't ever really, not in All Stars. I mean, okay, let me rephrase. Like in earlier seasons of All Stars, they've had like the final 2, but not in recent years. It's always been like 4 or 3. So,
Right. I was completely confused by the like it was surprising that all 3 of them would lip sync, and I'm like, yeah, because they're on the finale. Like, why would they not all lip sync? I mean, it would have been far more dramatic to cut one right then and there.
I will say that much. That would have been. I would not have been a fan of that,
Right.
especially with who was in the finale.
Yeah. So, the song is "Make Me Feel" by Janelle Monáe. Which is right out of the Prince like book of whatever you believe in, Revelations, you name it. Like it is like practically period, right out of something that Prince would have written, for himself. So it's a really good song. And well, Damon, you talk about your thoughts, and then I'll go over mine, I guess.
Okay. So what I wrote down is each took it differently, and I'm not hating that. And what I mean is each queen took this performance in a different direction. Miss Cracker went kind of campy, somewhat, Jimmy, like gymnastics-y, kind of that kind of performance. Jujubee definitely pulled on the kind of sexy, sex kitten, sex pot kind of like thing. I loved her outfit, by the way.
Mhm.
Although when you have fringe that long, there's always that issue where it like connects somewhere and then it doesn't go back to where it's supposed
Right.
to.
Right.
And then I was honestly surprised by Shay's like robotic kind of like Barbie like kind of feel. I was
Right.
honestly also surprised that she was wearing a gown. While it did have a big slit in the back, like I it and she could move in it, I just was not expecting it for this song.
Mhm.
But then she went into what she was doing, and I kind of got it a little bit, not
Mhm.
fully, but like it was. Um, Cracker went for the reveal, kind of, um, where she pulled the little pins from these cardboard like titties that she had on, and what I don't know what it was supposed to be. Like normally when I think of things like that, I usually think of like the um, what is it? Austin Powers with the like fembots and the gun tits, and they like shoot like fireworks or whatever. I was expecting a little bit more flash, and then what we ended up getting was a bunch of wet glitter, like that kind of like spilled out, like, and yeah, it just I wasn't mad at it, but it just felt like kind of meh at that point, and it didn't really go with what was going on. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much it for me, Gary.
Um. So I said not as exciting as hoped.
Mm-hmm.
I had high hopes for the final lip sync. I expected tears. I expected like stunts. I was
Mm-hmm.
preparing myself for, all right, this is where it's all on the line. Like, this is the final thing that you're going to do to prove that you are the winner.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at their outfits and I'm like, boy, these are some choices.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Shay is wearing this full length gown, which is a surprise.
Yep.
Um, Jujubee is wearing a kind of a cocktail dress, but a very like bedazzled, with the big shoulder thing and the fringe deal. Like, so I mean, she's definitely wearing a performer outfit.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
she's going to move, she's going to do a bunch of things. I was like, okay, okay. And Cracker's wearing a bathing suit with big
Mm-hmm.
pointy tits on it. I loved her hair. Her hair was immaculate. Like, I was like,
Yes.
wow, boy, we are delivering 50s, 60s vintage, like
Mm-hmm.
pinup, Marilyn Monroe kind of, that's just gorgeous. But I'm confused. Like, why are we just running around in a bathing suit? Um, and I'm glad you brought up the, I don't know what the hell do you call it? It's not a reveal. Um, the stunt, I
Prop, the
guess.
gimmick.
Yeah. Like, I saw there were little loopy things on the end of the boobies, like the little cones, and I was like, okay, so something's gonna happen with that. So, H and I are watching, and then like she pulls, and then I was like, um,
That's it.
I don't really see anything happening. I'm kind of
That's it.
confused. And I thought, wow, this sucks. Because this is kind of like Asia O'Hara all over again. Like, so I had explained to H what happened afterwards, and then we went on YouTube and actually watched that infamous like lip sync.
Oh God.
I mean, to help explain the butterfly thing, like I was just like, because she
Oh
didn't see it, she didn't know, and I was like, yeah,
yeah.
that was a thing that Asia tried, and it didn't really work, and it was very embarrassing. And I feel for Cracker right now because I feel like whatever she was doing didn't necessarily work because I think there were big ass fans blowing air conditioned air, like cool air on them the whole time, and all I saw was a little wisp of smoke. I didn't see no
Mm.
glitter. I didn't see stuff spewed out. I was very confused. I was like, huh? I'm like,
I just
okay.
have to see if I can find it. I'm
So
gonna try to.
I was like, that didn't really go the way you thought it would, and that kind of sealed your fate, girl. Like, If there's anything I have to say about queens in a finale in a lip sync, if you're gonna pull a stunt, you better have rehearsed that fucking stunt 50 times and think of all the variables that could cover it. And I said to H, I was like, I don't think she thought about fans. I don't think she thought about, like, when you're at the front of the stage and, like, you know, whatever, that if there's a draft of air or something, that it could, like, counteract whatever you're trying to do. So
Oh, I'm just sitting here. Yeah.
I just don't think the music, you know, performance was exciting as I wanted it to be. I think Shay was inhibited by the gown, but that was a choice. Like,
Yes.
she wanted to
Yeah.
look gorgeous. Now, I will say this.
Yeah.
I clocked the hair. Before
about
the
the hair?
show, I sent you images, Damon. So I want you to go back, and I want you to go to the one that's from, I think, Twitter.
3 top all-stars stand before me.
Wait. Oh, okay, go to you. Get back to hosting. Okay.
And go to the one from Adam Elise that says the wig parallels.
Oh. Yes. Yeah.
So for those of you that didn't clock it or necessarily see, Shea Coulee's wig is a replica of Sasha Velour's wig from their infamous lip sync. Only Sasha Velour's was in, like, this auburn red, and Shay's is in this, like, soft electric blue.
For those of you who can watch the live show, if I can get this to run correctly.
Yep. Just
Whoop,
up.
whoop. Oh, up.
No, pull your
shit.
hand up.
Damn it. There we go. Directions are hard, y'all.
I know.
So watching this, if you're watching the video on YouTube, you will see these pictures with the Shay and the Sasha Velour wigs.
I honestly think Shay intentionally was paying homage to that lip sync because she is wearing blue gloves that are up to over the elbow, like up to her biceps, and Sasha was wearing gold ones. Sasha is wearing a red and gold dress, and then Shay is wearing a blue with, like, you know, light blue and white dress. I mean, like, it's almost like fire and ice. Do you know what I mean? Like there's definitively a concept, a thing going on.
Oh yeah.
And I clocked the wig during the performance because I was like, so help me, she pulls her wig up and something falls out underneath it. I'm done. I'm just fucking done.
I will also throw another little parallel at you. She wore a blue wig in the lip sync with her and between her and Sasha. It was a short, like, pixie cut kind of wig, but it was a blue wig.
I thought it was like black and silver and purple. But...
I'll have to look for it again. Let me check, but I'm pretty sure.
Because she wore, like, a black patent iridescent, like, outfit with, like, thigh-high boots and gloves and all this jazz. But I mean, so I clocked the wig. So that I thought was an interesting moment where I was like, I'm like, so help me, she lifts that wig up and shit falls out from underneath it. I'm done. Like, I can't with this. But she didn't. So, you know, maybe that was the stunt to not actually do the stunt. But it was without a doubt, like, paying attention and respecting that, you know, that thing that had happened before.
I can't share my screen with you, but it is a very short, like, pixie cut blue wig. Like, I have a picture. Okay. I'll show it to you after. I have to keep that up, but I'll show that to you.
Okay. So yeah, there's that.
Another picture too. She is notorious for wearing this wig, if I'm not mistaken, because I just saw it again when I just typed in Shea Coulee finale, and there was another picture. There it is, but I don't know if that was from a finale or not. Yeah, I think it was. It was from the original finale, not the final episode before the finale in season 9.
Oh, okay.
I'll save that too. So
Okay.
anyway, I'm just throwing some stuff. Oh, that's so pretty. Sorry. Distracted.
So that being said, the other stuff that I sent you was because the majority of it is about the controversy, about the spoiled, like who the winner is.
Mm,
So on Thursday morning, Thursday to afternoon or whatever, sometime on Thursday, supposedly a queen spoiled who the winner of All Stars 5 is.
really?
Yes, because they went onto Reddit, they were searching some stuff, and there's some rumors that this queen, who is supposedly now a former Rue girl and season winner, like has a connection with somebody at Netflix or something who had to do the closed captioning for
Mm-hmm.
the episode, and they don't get all three endings, they only get the one, so that's how they knew. And then there's this infamous screenshot of the winner holding the scepter and screaming. But the reason I sent all those pictures to you is because then there's this counter like evidence that it shows all three of the queens holding the scepter at
Mm-hmm.
different moments, and how they did record three endings. And I had said that to H. I said, that they, to prevent spoilers or whatever, is that they record all three of them winning, and then it's not until they actually air it does anybody know who really won.
Mm.
However, when we watched it, I was confused because then there's confessionals where the other two queens who did not win talk about how happy they are that the other one won,
Mm-hmm.
and that they're disappointed but okay with not winning. And I was like, now, wait a minute. Like, how elaborate was this whole thing to, so we re-recorded three winnings and all these confessional things, like where all three of them won and like they also didn't win.
I
And
mean,
they talk about the other one who did win, because that means that like contestant A had to talk about winning, then contestant A had to talk about B winning and C winning.
yeah.
Like, it was like, if that's truly what happened, that was pretty elaborate and confusing, because when you watch the final episode and you watched Untucked, it really comes across that the other two knew who won.
Yeah.
So I'm not really
It's
sure what happened.
I don't know. Like it's so hard for me to say. Um like I've often had this whole um thing about like this, how they're doing these finales.
Mm-hmm.
We know with All Stars they don't do like a reunion later on and have everyone come back and then they kind of do an episode with the finale. The ending is the last episode of the show. Like
Right.
while they're there filming the entirety of the show, they film the finale.
Right.
Right. Got it. Okay. So, and, but we know because of things that have happened in years past
Mm-hmm.
that they do film each queen winning because they don't want spoilers of any kind to get out. They don't want people to know who wins. And maybe Rue will change her mind. I don't, whatever.
Right.
Kind of thing. Um, so is it possible to kind of keep that not facade, but keep that uncertainty uncertain that they went to all of the final queens and you're going to record yourself winning, you're going to talk about your win, and then you record yourself losing to the other two queens, and they recorded and talked about all three of those things.
Yeah.
Is it possible? Yeah. Is it probably time consuming? For sure, because essentially they have to do it. They essentially do 9,
Mm-hmm.
and they're only going to air 3.
Yeah.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
and you can't, because like we saw the episode, you and I watched the episode. It wasn't like generic, like it could have been any of the other like girls that lost kind of thing. It was very clear they were talking about the winner winning
Well, I think they
and
named the
them not
winner.
losing. Yeah, that's
Like
what I mean.
that's
Like,
the
it's
part
not,
that shocked me. I was like,
yeah.
oh, okay. Now I'm
So
really
it's,
confused because y'all are talking like you know who won. So how do you know who won?
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I don't. It has to be. Excuse me. It has to be that they recorded it, all of it.
Right. Because then you've got
And
all
I'm.
the other queens there too. Like they're off on the
Hmm.
sideline as the loser
But
slash peanut gallery, whatever. So
notice, I'll have to look at the episode again. But are they clapping and cheering for the actual person? Like, do they say their name and then they go Shay and all that stuff, or is it a very general, like, congratulations, applause kind of thing? Is I'd have to look back at it and tell you, because I can't remember, because
yeah.
unfortunately, no offense, I wasn't paying attention to them because it was
Right.
a very good moment, very
Right.
fun moment. So, um, but that's something to think about too, because if it was a very general congratulations, which you can do with all the queens, it could go that way.
Right.
And I have to do, I do this all the time. Like, in my head, I think about how are the queens presented. Usually they do it in alphabetical order. So it's usually they say DGB, Miss Cracker, Shay. Like, try to think of it like that. So if they did it that way, then Shay's win, or whoever, well, fuck it. Spoiler, fuck it.
You already gave it away 15
I already
20
gave it
seconds
away.
ago.
Too like.
I still got a clip to play, but we'll get to that.
Anyway, did I give it away? Yeah, no, whatever. Anyway, so Shay would have been last, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you film GGB's, then you film Miss Crackers, and then you film Shay's. Given what I saw, I don't think that's how they filmed it.
Okay.
The reactions are very, like, high energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not forced. It's not fake. It doesn't feel like bleh. Like, it doesn't feel like we're faking it for the,
Right.
For the sake of cameras and whatever.
Right.
It feels genuine-ish. That Shay won. Sorry, spoiler. Sorry, folks. It's after 10 o'clock. You were at that mark.
Well, let me play the announcement.
Sure.
Ladies, the time has come to crown our queen. The winner of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars. The next queen to be inducted into the Drag Race Hall of Fame is Shea Coulee. You're a winner, baby.
Oh my god! Yes, bitch! 2 times the charm. I am the winner of All Stars 5, bitch. Eat it! Ow!
So you were listening to the crowd.
Yes.
I was trying to figure out why you leaned in, and then I was like, "Oh, you're listening," and I agree with you. It sounds pretty generic.
Mm-hmm. Just saying.
Although in the video stock footage, it's not really stock, but in the video footage, Mayhem is crying. At least 2 of the queens, I think, in the front are crying. Sure, I think it's Angina and Mayhem. I think are crying. So I don't know.
It's hard to tell. I don't know. Like, there's a part of me that I hate to say it, like, it's so overly produced now in a lot of ways. Like, it could totally be like they were able to make them act a fool or whatever. I don't know. Maybe they, like, shocked their chair. I don't know. Whatever. It's something.
Right.
But yay. Yay, 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 yay. Congratulations, Miss Shea Coulee, the winner of All Stars 5.
You ready to get into our last part?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's... I don't know what the hell happened that it just like quit.
I don't either.
I was like,
It's
I'm just
okay.
like, what the hell? Why'd you stop? You're not supposed to stop, bitch. Keep playing the damn clip. All right, final thoughts. Instead of doing highs and lows, I'm like, what? Why? Like we're at the end.
Yeah, we're at the end. Like,
So, David, what are your final thoughts now that like the season is wrapped? It is 8 episodes. We're done. Like there's nothing really much left to be said. We do have a new crowned queen. I got one more clip to play regarding that, but that's it.
okay. So a couple of things. I'm gonna start with like I did kind of a positive note because I know this was our Snaps and Eye Rolls thing. So I'm gonna just go ahead and go with that. And the first part is the positive, which was so humble, and I give that to Shay. There are moments, I don't know what the clips you're playing, but in particular, like there are things that she said during her like acceptance, confessionals about it that were touching to hear and see. I know it brought me to tears. Like I was like, because it was just a beautiful like statement about what was going on and how things went. And I say humble, and then I hear her like eat it, bitch, like like when she won the title. It's like, but in general, that's kind of how I feel. I don't know if you've seen the video where the girls are they're live reacting to the finale.
Yes.
So that's another one to me where Shay has always been the queen that doesn't really like, I'm not saying this doesn't go to her head or anything along those lines, but she's acted with a grace that is to me well beyond her like she has a larger grace for her ego. That makes sense.
Okay.
Like she could be honestly, point blank period, her talent and abilities and performance and what have you, she could be a really like a bitch, and she's not.
Right.
I mean, for the most part. I mean, I'm not saying I see her every day or anything like that, but like she seems to care for her community. She's definitely cares for like Black Lives Matter movements, and she has been so gracious during this season that I can't like I there was a point in this episode, like Jim asked me, like, who do you think won? Like before we got kind of new to crowning, and I kind of said Shay. I said Shay. Even though I wanted Juju to win so badly, there was just no stopping that train that I was seeing. Like everything that was going on, and I just like, there's just no way. Like it's going to take a major miracle for anyone else to win.
Right.
No tea, no shade, but that's just kind of where I was at that point in the episode. And I am happy she won. I think she's well deserved. She did a really good job this season, and that kind of showed. Having said all that, why? And I put why, and I didn't put much else. And the why is really twofold. One is why the call, because we didn't fucking need the call at all. And what I couldn't find and what I'm remembering is apparently someone posted I can't remember where, but like someone has posted that the phone is always there. Like the whole idea being that it was supposed to be there as a prop for Rue to call the lipstick assassin in, but it was never used, or they filmed it, but they never put it out there.
Okay.
Like that was kind of the intention of the phone. And in this, like they talk about why they kept it in this episode, but I can't remember what it said because I can't find it. I don't know where I saw that.
Okay.
But there was a reason why they did this. It's a stupid fucking reason. Like, let me just put it out there. Like, whatever they said, I don't remember, and maybe I don't remember it because it was awful. My why then goes into why did we bring the girls back in the way that we brought them back? Let's put the big fucking glory hole like prop up in the fucking room and have all the girls hide behind it, and then have the top three come in. Like, of course they're gonna know something's up when they see this fucking glory hole roll, prop in the room. Like, and then like the whole like nothing left unsaid bullshit, which I'm just, although it has been confirmed that essentially India was lying. Like, and let me, like I told you, Jim, she wasn't lying. She was stretching the truth.
So this goes back to what you and I previously talked about. My theory was they were both telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And they were. I explained it to H. I said, Alexis says she never campaigned to vote Shay out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is true. She did not go around to all the queens and talk about voting Shay out.
Mm-hmm.
However, what India actually said originally was that when she was sitting on the side with Mayhem and Alexis had asked if she voted for Shay because they did. And the inference was that India was also supposed to vote for Shay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all that India had really said. But Alexis is the one who started and threw in the word campaign. Yep. And I was like, bitch, you totally pulled that out of somewhere, because that was never uttered by India, and I don't think it was ever said by Shay.
Mm-hmm. I'd have to go look again, but I kind of...
So I was like, oh, here it comes, like blah, 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 and all this stuff. And then the queens flip it out more, apparently, about the potential alliance between Mayhem and India. And I'm like, I was amused by the fact, I was so amused by the fact that Derek's like, oh, I'm loving this. She's like, because it's not about me, and, Blair is like, wait, was there an alliance? Like, and I was like, and of course, Mayhem and India aren't saying yes. And it's kind of like, well, not exactly.
Yeah.
It's
and
not
that's the thing.
In an alliance, it's an agreement.
Yeah. They literally were like, if you're in the same position I'm in, like, will you vote me out? And she was like, no. That is the end of this agreement. Like, if India were in the position, which she was, India would not vote for her, or Mayhem would not vote her out, which is exactly what happened. Now, she voted for Shay, but that's neither here nor there. Well, not really. That's neither here nor there. That's a whole other story. Like, I don't want to get like I don't want to get into this whole thing. Like, I get the whole like Mariah's your like sister. Like, I understand that. But like
pour the tea, Christine, like tell the truth.
Say, yeah, like what's up with that? Like just tell the truth.
Yeah.
Like just let it go. Like whatever. Anyway, so that's my why essentially is like, and like watching them in the episode, like watching their performance, watching them in Untucked, Like they were in the choreography for like the number in the clapback number.
Barely.
And again I say why? Like what was the point?
Yeah.
They were barely there. They're obviously wearing outfits that they, dance outfits that they brought in.
Right.
But like, what was the point?
Yeah.
Because you don't even get to see all the queens. Like I don't think I saw in the performance, mind you.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw India.
They were all on the periphery, like
Yeah,
kind of
they were
like
all kind of.
window dressing, sort of in the way of the camera.
Mm-hmm. And it just
Yeah.
Again, to me, it's kind of falling along the lines of like the Kennedy Davenport. This was a waste. Like, why bring them back at all if this is what you're going to do with them?
Mm.
Like, the obvious thing you wanted to do was do the whole drama stirring with the everything that kind of happened this season, because the things we didn't talk about, like everything. We literally talked about, or at least we saw what we talked about, the drama points.
Right.
Derek and India, Alexis and India, and not really drama, but like the whole alliance between
Mayhem and India.
Mayhem and India. Did we hear a common theme, by
I
the
was
way?
just gonna say, girl. I'm like, and all three of them have one queen in common.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it's just like, why?
Yeah.
Why bring them back? Anyway, Gary.
You sound so resigned, girl.
It was just so.
I know.
It was just a waste.
Well, that's a wrap. It's the end of season 8. Episode 8 of All-Star Season 5. And I'm perfectly content with it, I'm glad it was a short 8 episodes. Thank the maker, Like, it wasn't 10, it wasn't 13 or some crazy thing. It did not get super drawn out. It was relatively quick. I really liked how quick it was. I liked that a queen didn't come back. I appreciated the shakeups, and ultimately that the lip sync assassin is a new thing. I think it's a good thing. I fully expect it to stay and return at some point. So, and Shay won, and as I was explaining to H, I'm like, of the three of them, everyone could, like, amongst us that have talked, especially the Telegram chat, I think we were all pretty much cool with any of them winning, but there was one favorite and two, I don't know what I want to call them, consolation winners. like it's not so shitty, but so yeah. And the other thing that I had sent to you that I thought was cool was someone on Twitter had posted and said, Evie Oddly, Monet Exchange, Jada Essence Hall, Shea Coulee, 4 black winners back to back. So enough of this bullshit about white queens winning Drag Race all the time is what I have to say about that. Because that was a thing for a while. That was a discussion point out there.
Yeah. Like the biggest thing I've been hearing, it's a thing. And I will say this much. It is great to have this representation. It sucks in a sense that it took a while to get there. Having said all that, I'm two-sided about this. What I don't want to hear is the queens won because they're black.
Oh no, yeah, I totally agree.
Like that is my big thing. Like I don't want the whole Monet, it started with Monet and Trinity when they tied for All Stars 4.
Right.
Like it was Shay or Rue's way of keeping it all going, and I'm like, okay, it is a little sketchy just because of everything. Just no offense, like it just it is. But Evie was great. She was great on her season. She was kooky and different, and that to me is what is the reason why she won.
Correct.
gosh, the name just left my head. Jada, God bless it. Jada Essence Hall. So talented, so beautiful, such a like well-rounded performer,
Right.
and fun and funny, that won her season.
Right.
Go her. And then we've got Shay. Like, as much as I wanted, like we talked about this after in post show last week, as much as I wanted Jujubee to win, I felt that this was her time. But having said that, watching the episode, it was going to be so difficult for them to crown Jujubee.
Right.
Based on the episode alone. Like, I'm not talking about like all the season, but like if you looked at the episode and you looked at everything that was going on and her performance and everything else, like putting the crown on Juju's head would be, I don't know if it would be right. Like it just wouldn't have felt right to me. She did a good job. Don't get me wrong. I just feel she got outshined.
Yeah.
So there's that. And here we are. We're done for now.
So let's talk about that, shall we?
Ooh, sure.
Or maybe I should really be playing this one.
We all have choices. Some of us make the wrong ones.
So let's talk about RuPaul's Drag Race Vegas review, which is coming on VH1 in just a couple weeks.
In August. Mm-hmm.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? What the freak is this shit? So apparently it's a 6-episode like docuseries about the queens that are in the show, the 6 main queens, and them like preparing for like the grand opening of the show at the casino. Okay, I'm interested. I don't want to fucking talk about it really like this.
Me neither, girl.
And this is the thing. So I know you and I are on the same page. I want all of our audience to understand. When we started this, I gotta look it up like how long ago it was. When we started this shindig of the side series for COL, it was purely out of, hey, Damon, you like to talk about, like, you like Drag Race. I like Drag Race. Like, maybe we should talk about it, on the regular. So that was 5 years ago, and it's been 106 episodes.
Girl.
Right. So if there are 52 weeks in a year, that means half a year for 5 years straight. We have been doing 2 shows a week. Because there's so many goddamn seasons of Drag Race. I would feel differently if this is the only show we were doing. But we also do the regular show, so I'm just kind of like, oh my god, I want a fucking break. And then, kittens, it is July 26th, Sunday. Do you know what got announced today? Did you even see this?
No, I didn't. What got announced today?
My God.
Hold on.
I can't believe
Hold on.
you missed the RuPaul announcement today.
What did I miss? I feel like Hamilton.
So Angina made a post, and I thought she was fucking around in her post. And come to find out, she was not.
Oh, God.
Like, well, I think she's still being a screwball, but what she was talking about was not her thing. So, where the hell is it? If I can find it now. I wonder if she took it down. I can't find it. I swear it was on China that posted it.
Mm-mm.
Oh, no. It's Yua.
Oh.
Hamasaki.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go back to wrong link. 8 hours ago. This is U.S. Post. I'm a contestant on the new Drag Race Holland. I was like, all right, you're just being a silly fucked up bitch. Whatever.
What? Oh,
So
wow.
wait. It's gonna hang on a second.
Ooh, what? It's what?
Sorry. Now that I'm not muted, I'll re-say that. On my iPad, I'm gonna play this to see if you can hear this. Come on. Over, then press play.
Hello, Holland. It's RuPaul, and I am proud to announce that my beloved Drag Race is coming to you, and with a brand new host, exclusively on Videoland. More info coming soon. So you better watch.
It's legit. She did a fucking promo. Rue released a promo today through World of Wonder 11 hours ago. Watch Drag Race Holland on WoW Presents Plus in the US and worldwide except the Netherlands, exclusively on Videoland in the Netherlands and Canada to be announced soon. So we've got Drag Race Thailand, we've got Canada Drag Race, and now we've got Drag Race Holland.
And Drag Race UK.
Oh yeah, that too. Drag Race UK is the only other one that Rue has actually been involved, like, directly and hosted.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Sorry. Someone replied to that post that said, coming soon to WoW Presents Plus, Drag Race Holland, Drag Race Pawnee, Drag Race Pyongyang, Drag Race Terabithia, Drag Race Mushroom Kingdom, Drag Race Gilead, Drag Race Chernobyl, and more.
Oh my God. Great lad. It's Lord.
Drag Race Holland will launch with English, Spanish, and Portuguese subtitles on WoW Presents Plus.
I can't.
And someone posted AS5 ends. WoW Presents. So, Drag Race Holland, what do y'all think? Everyone else. But we're still halfway through Canada edition. WoW Presents. Shut up and put your clogs on, bitch.
I mean, oh my God.
Right? That's where I'm just like, what the fuck is the matter with these people? We just finished All Stars 5. Now. If you're going to do what you've done before, you twats, you would launch Canada Drag Race this week. Not weeks ago. This week is when you would launch Canada. And then when Canada's over, you would launch Holland. No, after Canada's over, you would do the Vegas review. And when the Vegas review is over in a month and a half of airing, then you would launch Holland. To just make it back to back to back to back. So it's literally year-round Drag Race.
You've got Drag Race all year round. Like,
right. So that's what's happened in the world. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
I can't.
So
like,
that's why I'm glad that you and I are like, we're sticking to the American, and we're pretty much only doing the main seasons and All Stars. And rumor has it that they're filming currently, which I don't believe. And I really think we're going to be on a hiatus for a while. And I'm okay with that.
I am too.
Like,
and as much as I love you, Gary, and I love like Drag Race, bitch, I'm tired. Like, like I I need like a little decompression from the drag race,
Mm-hmm.
and like there's a big part of me that like even thought about like trying to find how can I watch Canada Drag Race just to kind of get a feel for it, because I do like Brooklyn. But then I was like, you know what? No, you're good. Like you're fine. I'm really happy, and this is well, this is going to be totally that. I hate to say it, that I've been in quarantine and been in like staying at home and pandemic and stuff, because it has given me the opportunity to watch the shows live as opposed to like recording it or buying it on iTunes or anything like that. Because heaven forbid if I ever got behind or it got busy again and I had to like watch it later or pay for it later or whatever. I just I I need a break. Love y'all, mean it. I know you love the show. Thank you for loving the show, but I need some me time. I need to focus on myself. I need to take some time away, just a little bit, just to kind of deal with some things. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I totally understand. So, I am looking forward to doing this again in the future. We don't know when. And, like, maybe, we've talked about it before, but we haven't done it. We'll record a in between, like, catch-up episode or something. Like,
something.
To talk about the shit that's going on. Still haven't had a chance to like understand what the hell's going on with Michelle and Rue like disappearing on social media for the most part. Like,
true.
Something's up there too. I don't know. And I'll just put this out there, and y'all can stew and sit on this because we need to wrap up this episode. Rumor is that Rue is stepping down. I find that hard to believe. Another rumor is that Michelle is starting her own version. Only hers will include bio, kings, all of it.
Oh my.
And that has caused a bit of a rift with her and the bestie. So I don't know. Not really
We'll
sure
see.
what's going on.
I mean, to be blunt, nothing's really happening right now.
That's so true. Ain't nobody making any content pretty much, so yeah.
Ain't nothing happening. Ain't no shit happening right now, y'all. Just being honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Agreed. All right. That being said, if you would like to get in touch with us, catch up with us, beg us to do more content, you would go to cubsoutloud.com to our blog. You can comment on a post on there. You can you can send us an email to cubsoutloud@gmail.com. You bitch. Leave us a voicemail message on our phone number. It's 361 COL Talk. That's 361-265-8255. Pretty much anywhere on social media online you can find us as Comes Out Loud. That's one word. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, you name it. If you would like to, in between the seasons, the recordings, the airs, keep up with us, you can go to tinyurl.com/telegram. That's TELEGRAM-COLDR to join our little group over there for conversation, which we're about to tell them that the embargo is lifted, so everybody could like say all the shit they want to say about what happened in the finale. And if you would like to support Cubs Out Loud, there's a couple of great ways that you can do that. You can go to Zazzle.com/CubsOutLoud, and you can buy yourself some merch. Damon is wearing our COL Drag Race logo shirt in a nice soft baby blue. It has the crown. It says Drag Race on the big brown bear head. I'm wearing the Drag Pride shirt that says "Consent is my foreplay" in the Drag Pride colors and stuff. So you can do that. You can become a patron at Patreon. That's patreon.com/cubsoutloud for as little as $1 a month repeated. At the first of each month, you can be a supporter of us, which helps pay for like the domain and all that kind of jazz and some equipment upgrades. All of our patrons, most of our patrons, recently got T-shirts.
Yeah.
So, and they've been sporting those, and they're very happy about getting them. So I'm happy for them about that, and some more good stuff coming in that arena. Or you could just go to paypal.me/cubsoutloud, and you can send us a one-time donation. We would accept that too. You could go to iTunes and rate us, leave us a 5-star review with comments. We would greatly appreciate it. Google Play Podcast, you can subscribe, as well as Spotify. Pretty much anywhere you go look for podcasts, you can get the audio version of this. If you want the video, obviously go to YouTube. And then the patrons obviously get the pre-show and the post-show, so they kind of get bookended. They get like a fuller, non-edited version of us talking shit. If you want to talk shit with us one-on-one, Damon, where would they find you?
If you wish to get in touch with me, you can find me as TheaterCub79 on most bear-related sites and Facebook. Or you can find me as pup_umbra on Twitter. Just an FYI, the Twitter is definitely NSFW. So.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
If you want to get in touch with me online, you can pretty much find me anywhere as Gamber73. If you want to follow my following of the Rue Girls and other drag things, it would be GARBEAR73DRAG, Gamber73 Drag. You can replace the word drag with 3 X's. That gets you the naughty stuff on what I post and follow on Twitter. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Until next time, y'all have a good one. It is 2020. We are now less than 100 days. I think we're 99 days away from the national election here in the United States. It's always important to vote, but more than ever, it's incredibly it's your civic duty. Make sure you can, and if you can do a paper ballot to mail in, do that shit. I signed up for it. I can do it in my state. And if you're not registered yet, please go do that. You can go to vote.org to see, how it's possible to, find out about voting in your state and what the provisions are. They have all the states listed. Because we are what? Because we are American.
Like you do. I'm American, American, American. I am American, American. Red, white, and blue. I am American, American, American. I am American, American. Just like you do.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Girl, it is late. I am so sorry.
No, it is okay. Yeah, I'm good. I had, we did dinner early, and I'm kind of just like, cool, let's just get this over. I know it sounds so bad. I hate saying it like that, but